Late last year, Theme Park Stop revealed that after investigation, Universal was not only looking into building a theme park in the United Kingdom, but also its parent company Comcast had already bought the land where it would later be built upon. Since then, Universal has made their interests clear, with letters to the community, a website dedicated to the project, public meetings, conversations with government officials, and much more. The site is already suffering some changes by the hands of the American company, and the floodgates have been opened on Universal Great Britain. With this, I invite you to come along as we go over the latest information, rumors, site changes, and of course, speculation. So, let's get to it!
Oh boy!
Before I begin, if you enjoy my content and this video, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing as I upload weekly videos on theme parks from the past to the future. If you want to go the extra mile, consider becoming a channel member. You can find me over at Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and in the Discord community where theme park fans come together. Links are in the description. With that, let's dig in. Before jumping in the latest, let's take a step back and recall exactly what we already knew. Comcast had bought a 476-acre plot of land south of Bedford, a town north of the City of London. This plot of land had several proposed uses over time, being an old brickwork factory, and is nestled between important transportation ways, with the Thames Link passing on one side and the Marston Vale Line on the other. With the news, Universal revealed that they were undertaking feasibility studies and due diligence work, as well as discussing the project with the local and national stakeholders. Since then, 2 public hearings have been held near the proposed site to hear what the locals have to say about a project of the scale that would obviously change the region in the long term. About it, Universal New Ventures President Paige Thompson said, "We really appreciate the warm welcome we've got from the Bedford community. It's probably the most positive reception we've ever got for one of our projects anywhere." Universal then shared a very thorough PDF that included some very exciting information regarding their still-to-be-decided-upon proposal. So, let's check everything out. Let's start with the location. Why the UK and why Bedford? Well, Universal says that the UK is a very attractive market for a theme park because of its large population, creative industries, strong tourism, transportation infrastructure, and links to Europe. In 2023, the UK welcomed 38 million tourists, and this number is growing. Regarding Bedford, they said that the site as a whole is already allocated for development by the council through the proposed local plan, and it's also an ideal location with a convenient, fast rail links to London and London Luton Airport. It has the size and the flat topography that is important for a large-scale theme park resort. Both the site and Bedford are well connected for travel from all parts of the UK. The East-West Rail project also plans to deliver additional transport improvements locally. Connectivity is an extremely important part of any project of this scale, and while the already existing train routes and services that serve the area are quite good, the region is undergoing a new project, the EWR, previously mentioned, that will better connect everything. That said, one can currently go from London St Pancras to Bedford directly in 1 hour via the Thames Link, a journey time comparable to that of Paris to Disneyland Paris via the RER. But a trip from London to Milton Keynes, an important neighboring town, takes just 30 minutes. Interestingly, the EWR will eventually connect Milton Keynes to Bedford, passing just by the Universal site, with it having a possible station. Another important factor will be the Luton Airport, that is already connected to the site via train in just under 40 minutes. Of course, there will be many improvements not only to the roads leading there, but also the many trains that connect the region, London, UK, and Europe. Speaking of Europe, currently a trip from Paris's Gare du Nord, which is easily reached from Disneyland Paris to Bedford, would currently take around 3.5 hours. But that's just a fun fact. Now we reach the most exciting part, the potential master plan. With that PDF, Universal shared what they believe could be a way to transform the site into a world-class theme park and resort. It would be divided into 3 zones: the Lake Zone, the West Gateway Zone, and the Core Zone. The Phase 1 master plan shows how the area would be utilized during, well, Phase 1 of the resort. Here, we would see the creation of 2 main areas, let's call them the theme park and the park areas. The South Zone is where the most action would be happening. Here, the major transportation hub connecting the resort with one of the railways, buses, and cars would be located. Another smaller hub would be present on the other side of the resort, serving the second railway. Everything would be connected via Universal's roads. After leaving the transportation hub, or the major surface car park, we reach the hotel, retail, dining, and entertainment area, or as we know it, City Walk. This would be around 11 hectares. We can compare that to Orlando's, which is only 5 hectares, which saves a lot of space for walkways and, most importantly, the hotel or hotels. The theme park plot comes in at around 53 hectares, which is truly a lot of space. Islands of Adventure at Universal Orlando comes in at 38 hectares, including a large part of backstage facilities. Epic Universe and its incredibly large expansion plots and hotel take up around 55 hectares. So yes, Universal could fit that entire park and nearly all of its more than 12 hectares of expansion and backstage area in the UK. Of course, we shouldn't expect that, as not only do the rumors say that attractions from Orlando Resort wouldn't be copied here, but also the name of the park suggests that it'll be a studios-themed park. So, personally, I would expect something more in line with Universal Studios Beijing, as most guests coming to the UK resort will most likely never go to the Chinese park. The north section of their land would become a recreation area and temporary construction. It's likely the recreation area would take advantage of the existing lake to offer a relaxing environment for everyone to enjoy, not just Universal guests. As we can see, the entire resort perimeter would have a green belt with landscape, somewhat separating it from the outside world. In the second phase, the master plan evolves, with the temporary construction now being used for mixed use, which could be anything really. A new street going around the entire north area, and most importantly, the surface car park now showing other possibilities like theme park or theme park support. I wouldn't say this is any type of confirmation for a second theme park, as it could be used from anything like backstage, an expansion plot, a smaller kids park, or even indoor water park. The parish council sent a letter to locals with information Universal had previously never shared publicly. In this letter that was kindly provided by Universal Studios Great Britain Updates, we can see that the street area, most likely referring to City Walk, would have at least 4 original restaurants and a 500-room hotel. Let's examine this for a moment. A theme park resort in this scale with just a 500-room hotel seems like a strange situation. For comparison, this is half of what the Newport Bay Club Hotel in Disneyland Paris offers, or the Sequoia Lodge, or Santa Fe, or Cheyenne. Oh, well, you get the point. So, what is actually happening here? Well, the theory is that this will be the main hotel, similarly to Epic Universe's or Universal Beijing's, that's placed either on the entrance or inside the park itself. Meanwhile, less expensive rooms would be placed somewhere else, in less expensive hotels, because the phrasing makes it appear as if the hotel will be located in the street rather than being the only hotel in the entire resort. And if we keep reading, we reach what supposedly is Universal's visitor estimate of 8.5 million guests a year. So, one 500-room hotel is far from enough to support 8.5 million guests, and Universal themselves mentioned that along the City Walk could be a range of hotels and other accommodations. although we expect that many of our guests would also be staying in a range of different locations across the UK. This points to an interesting topic, that is, what kind of visitors would the park receive? A major part of the guests would obviously come from inside the UK itself, with annual passes being a very important part. The United Kingdom is a very big market for Orlando theme parks, with many visitors going each year. The same thing happening with Disneyland Paris, where the UK is the second biggest guest country of origin, after France. Another major group would obviously be tourists coming to London, acting as a similar day attraction as the Harry Potter Studios London, that in itself manages to get around 2 million visitors a year. I cannot help myself and wonder if that supposed number will be met in the first few years. For example, Disneyland Park is Europe's most visited theme park, and that gets around 10 million people a year. So it won't be an easy number to reach, but if we look at it from another perspective, it means Universal will have to fight hard and invest heavily to attract the crowds. And in the end, us fans will get the most out of it. Well then, when is it opening and where can I meet Blue the Velociraptor? Okay, so Universal has made it very clear that they are yet to give the thumbs up to the construction of the Great Britain Resort. In the site, we can see that the land studies are well underway, with many trenches being dug out around the south parcel of land where the majority of the development will be held. Now, if we go back to the when, a final decision is expected by many this year, and just last week, in the letter we already somewhat explored, the council says that the final decision from Universal and Comcast is expected this June. If this were the case, and if the construction timeline of 5 to 6 years Universal shared is indeed true, the long-rumored opening date of 2030 would be very likely reached. It truly is very exciting to see Universal interested in the European continent. As you might have noticed, I didn't mention any type of possible theme or IP, as neither has Universal. The plans are slowly becoming a reality, and hopefully we will see them happen. If a decision was to be announced this summer, just know that I'll be here to cover it all. Make sure to check the people that helped make this video down in the description. And now, as always, thank you for watching, and that's a wrap.